Okay, welcome back to the Hulk, and we're going to talk about entering the gargoyle. Okay, so Igor, which I was right, he's a bad guy. He has this weird inhibitor chip where he sends a message all the way over to the other bad guys, gargoyle dude, and then these other bad guys that work for the gargoyle pick up the message and they send it to the gargoyle. And then the message is telling the gargoyle that the Hulk exists. And then um, the gargoyle is saying that I must find this Hulk or either slay him or bring him back prisoner as a symbol of my might. So he can throw him in prison or do whatever he wants with him. And then he sets off this rocket, and then in the military base is like, oh, what the hell is this rocket? Where is this coming from? That's really the gargoyle. Uh, how he's getting to where the Hulk is, and then all these other rockets are coming to blow up his ship, and then that little red thingy is where the gargoyle is. And then he lands safely down on the army base. It's time to meet the Hulk. So after all that happened, Rick Jones and Bruce Banner are talking about the Hulk, about when is he gonna turn into the Hulk next. And then he's transforming into the Hulk, not turning into the Hulk yet. And then he turns into the Hulk, his greatest form, like I said in the last one where they had a printing issue. And then Bruce Banner is just like, who cares about anything? And they fall out of the car because it's just destroyed now because Rick Jones is like, ah. And then his head pops up, and now he's going to meet his love, Betty Ross. And then the gargoyles are like, not if I have anything to do about it. And then we take a little break from the gargoyle and the Hulk and Rick Jones, and we go see what Betty Ross is up to. We see that Betty Ross is thinking about Bruce Banner, but too bad because Bruce Banner is the Hulk right now. And then her dad is troubled that he doesn't like that she's thinking about him, so he tells her to go take a walk. And then she's all like, "Oh, I do need a little fresh air." And then she's all like, "Oh, a walk in the night air will clear my head." And then the Hulk comes up and tries to woo her off her feet, or whatever you want to call it. Romance her, woo her, whatever you want to call it. And then she's all, "Oh no!" And she faints. And Rick Jones comes and says, "Get off of her, Hulk." And then Rick Jones was like, "You gotta leave if you're found this time." And then Hulk says, "Shut up. No one tells the Hulk what to do." And then the gargoyle comes up from behind him, and Hulk is like, "Who are you?" And then he's like, "I got a gun." And he's like, no puny pistol can kill the Hulk. And then the gargoyle says, I didn't come all this way just to kill the Hulk. And then he says, this weapon shoots a pellet of my own invention. Observe. And then the Hulk gets all mad. The Hulk is no man's slave. And then the gargoyle says, I'm gonna make you my slave. And then he shoots the Hulk and Rick Jones. And then he tells the both of them to rise and follow him. Okay, now that we're gonna take a break from them, let's go back to Betty Ross. Her dad starts to yell, Betty, Betty. And then she's all, Dad, it was terrible. I saw the Hulk. She said, Dad, it was terrible. It was a Hulk. He came out of the darkness. Or was I just imagining? And then Thunderbolt Ross says, I'm going to track him down and destroy him. He basically means kill, but we all know what he means by destroy. But he can't destroy the Hulk because the Hulk is the Hulk, and he's got a healing factor, so he can't die. Okay, hold on. Let me take a break for a minute. If no one knows what a healing factor means, a healing factor means if anyone tries to kill you, sorry, that doesn't help. If anyone tries to shoot you, or if Wolverine comes and slices you a million times, or if you're in a battle and you get shot a million times, a healing factor is just where you heal and you don't die. It helps the writers give... sorry, it's itching. It helps the writers give characters healing factors, because I know sometimes in their stories, when they want to kill off their star players, they can do that in their storylines and then bring them back. But when they're doing that, when they have someone with a healing factor, it helps them so they so they don't have to do it so often, and it makes it easier so they don't have to do it all the time. So, you just learned what a healing factor is. And yet, in spite of everything, there was something said about him, almost as though he was seeking help. I'll find him if it takes me eternity. Okay, so now that we're back with the Hulk, and we had that brief little Betty Ross. So let me get you up to speed if you weren't paying attention or listening. So the gargoyle came in his ship, and then the army tried to blow it up, but he came anyways. And then the gargoyle put the Hulk under his control. So this is where we are now. He got the Hulk in a speeding truck. Okay, so he tells Rick Jones, faster, faster. Oh. Sorry, I didn't know who was driving. Okay, so he tells the army guy, faster, faster. Okay, now they're on a boat at sea. Okay, and now he's telling everyone to hurry up. Okay, now minutes later, he's on a jet. And somehow he's reached the edge of space. And then, oh, okay. And then Don has touched the Hulk. Uh, and then Don has touched the Hulk. So he's gonna end up turning back into Bruce Banner. And then the gargoyles are like surprised, like, who the heck is. He didn't know that Hulk and Bruce Banner were the same people, so he's like, who the heck are you? And so he locks them up. And then he starts to cry because he has such an ugly face. And then Bruce Banner's like, oh, I know how I can cure you. With, he says, with radiation. And then he takes him to the lab that he has. And he cures him with radiation. And then he says, Doc, it's working. And then he stands up to the bad guy. Okay, the bad guys are listening into something. And then the other bad guy warns them that the prisoners have vanished because the gargoyle let them go. And then the gargoyle leaves in his ship. And then they're like, oh, quick, look into his office. We'll find a clue. And then they see this handsome person. They're like, oh, we don't know who the hell you are. And then the handsome person says, I am the person that which you used to call the gargoyle. And then he holds them off. And then he's all like, I shall die as a man. Rick Jones and Bruce Banner get out of there. And they escape back to their back to once where they were. And Hulk will be back in the next issue. And Rick Jones was like, what is that blast? And then they know what that blast is. It's the gargoyle blowing up so they can leave. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.